Heyo everyone, Unfit Chaos here, and let's look at the Symmachean Stalwarts that we got to look at in the Season 5 preview event. Let's get going. As I said, let's talk about the Symmachean Stalwarts from Season 5. This information is from the Season 5 preview event, so take it with a grain of salt. Some of the naming may change, some of the stats or information could be adjusted by My.Games, but this is the current information we have for the release that's going to happen on the 13th. So let's get right into this unit. This unit is an upgrade to the Spear Sergeants. So if you don't have Spear Sergeants, or if you already have them, you'll have the ability to obtain and upgrade them into these units. So let's get right into it. You obtain these through a unit challenge, just like you would any new unit in a season. So you do your different challenges. The first one is going to give you some unit medals as well as a contract for Spear Sergeants. If you do not have them unlocked in the honor tree, this will unlock them. If you do already have them unlocked, it will instead give you 32 Spear Sergeant kits, 50 unit medals, and it will up your barracks by 1 extra slot. For stage 2, you get more unit medals, as well as a brace doctrine, which gives them brace weapon damage by 12%. This is going to be a pretty big deal, as the Stalwarts we'll get into have a really good brace. For tier 3, you get more unit medals, as well as you get the Stalwarts Oath. So this is what's actually going to allow you to promote your Spear Sergeants. If you want to know about how that process works, I will put up a little link to the video I did that explains the entire promotion and upgrade process that we're going to have in Season 5. After that, you do have one last one that gives you unit medals, as well as a epic doctrine that reduces the advance cooldown by 3 seconds. It's a pretty decent doctrine, but personally, I don't know if I'm going to run it. If I don't have any better options, I will definitely put it on there, but reducing the advance by 3 seconds is probably not going to be as beneficial as, say, being able to do extra damage or being able to get extra brace damage. So let's get into the actual unit. So for the actual unit, we're going to look at the trees as well as the stats. So first off, the Stalwarts do go to a max level of 22. Your Spear Sergeants are going to be a max level of 18. So they do allow you to get a few extra Veterancy points with upping it to a 22 level. Your doctrines are pretty standard to the same ones that a Spear Sergeant would have. So you have all your different piercing, your different blunt, you get your brace doctrine that we looked at, the epic doctrine. So it's a lot of the similar stuff that you would already have from Spear Sergeants, breakthrough, etc. So let's get into the actual stats and the Veterancy tree. So for this stats, I'm going to be putting up real quick. This is the stats when you have the unit fresh with no levels in it. This is going to give you an idea of what your health is, your damage, and your defense. I'm also going to show you the stats for when you are taking the top tree. The top tree is definitely the one I personally plan to play with the most at the moment. The bottom one is pretty effective as well from our testing, but the top one seems to just have that little bit of an extra edge. Either one is perfectly viable option. So this is now going to be the stats though for that bottom tree. You do get a few extra benefits over the top tree. Mainly though, it's going to be stuff like you're reduced on your advance. It's mainly an advanced command. So let's actually get into the trees and talk about the different abilities. First off, you get a health increase just up front, no matter which tree you go down. You do have enough points, as you can see from the top tree unit I'm showing here, to get 1 into the bottom tree, but down the top tree, you get your increased damage dealt while in a non-dispersed formation. So this is definitely a brace tree. You get the increased health by 3%, stacked 3 times. You also get your increased damage while bracing. If you go the top, you get the reduced range damage taken, as well as increases to all defenses by 10%. For the bottom, you get the increased piercing defense by 3%, as well as it increases the number of enemies each soldier can hit with a single strike by 1. Very effective ability. For the bottom tree, you're looking at your increase in blocking, which you can stack even with the top tree. You have your increased damage dealt by 5% while advancing. You have your reduced advance cooldown, your piercing damage by 3%, your increased piercing armor penetration by 5%. You have your reduced advance cooldown by 3. You have your each level reduces damage taken while advancing. And then your last one is going to be the ability to hit an extra person during your advance. So the bottom tree, as I said, is an advanced tree. the top tree seems to be, for the most part, a bracing tree. So let's get into those two abilities. So for this unit, you have a few things. For your traits, you have the Brotherhood. Troops are slower, but well protected than their chivalric brothers. A huge thing with both these guys and the new Men-at-Arms upgrades, the Paladins, are going to be the fact that while they're in V, so they're in the attack at will command, they have insane defenses. And even in formation, the F3 for the Men-at-Arms or any of the formations for these guys, they have ridiculous defenses. They do not take a lot of damage. This is part of it though. While they're in that formation, they are slower. They walk around at about the similar speed. And on top of that, they will move similar, but the moment you put them in a V, attack at will, both the units, when they get within a certain range of the enemy, put up their shield and walk very slowly. They have their Bulwark of Faith, so they take less damage from attacks coming from its front due to their shield formation as they're moving. You also have your Living Martyrs, so they're unafraid of death. This unit takes reduced damage when advancing on the enemy. That improves their advance over the standard one from a Spear Sergeant. Unit is less vulnerable to thermal weapons, so this is resist flame. They also have weak spot, similar to like your Imperial Spear Guards, so if they get attacked from behind, it is very bad. This is going to be a huge thing for something like Kesha Charge. If you let them charge through and then do their back return without getting out of that formation, they massacre them. Let's get into the orders, and this is where you're going to figure out about the two different trees. So first off, you have the Advance. Pretty straightforward. They group up, march forward in a formation, and this is going to give them really good block as they're moving forward, and it's also going to allow them to have a tight formation. It does give you really good ability to approach muskets, archers, any sort of ranged unit, and in essence, they're going to get no damage on you as you approach them. One of the things we noticed with the Advance is if you attacked something that was a very low health, say you went up against a tier 1 or a tier 2 archer unit, it would actually just walk through them because they would manage to kill them before they actually physically run into them, and that would allow the Advance to continue because there was no resistance. But if you do hit any sort of resistance along the way, the Advance stops, similar to just how the normal Spear Sergeant Advance works. The moment you get within that close enough range, they come out of that formation to start attacking. You also have their Brace. It's a brace. The huge thing with the brace on the Stalwarts though is it's a low formation brace. Each unit has its own shield up in front of it, which allows it to protect itself, and they take a low kneeling formation. This is excellent because it allows for all the units to be engaged effectively, and it also allows each unit to have its own resistance with its own shield. You don't have to worry about getting holes in the wall or having any issues with people breaking through the wall. They each take their own responsibility for themselves in the formation, and it is highly effective. This is one of the reasons I definitely recommend the top tree. So we've kind of gone over that. Formations are very similar: line, turtle, and your Chiltron. So let's actually get into how these guys work. So what do we think about the Stalwarts from our testing?
To victory!
Okay.
So none of them die on the front charge, but they don't do enough damage. And then on the back charge, ricochets just kill everything.
To victory!
Oh wow, that hurt him hard.
I think it's still gonna wipe though.
I mean, I lost over half my units.
Me too.
Form wedge! Form wedge!
So it's almost a trade at that point.
Strike!
Because they're gonna be hitting right on the front.
Make haste! Prepare to strike! To victory!
Oh wow.
It's better.
You're just gonna advance into it?
Yeah, I'm gonna advance into it after knocking it down. So I'm gonna do one of these. So realistically, I think they're gonna do okay, I guess.
I've lost
Wait,
two.
press 1. You can just press 1 at this point.
Position!
and you'll kill everything. And that's significantly better than actually trying to fight them.
Wipe them out! Death or glory!
Right?
Break formation! For the
It's actually
throne!
knocked over a decent amount of my space. Whoa, the counter's not working. They're still taking damage.
Yeah,
Attack at will!
they
brace
annihilated
was-
his ops.
For glory!
So this brace actually breaks the counter. See if you can wipe
No
Space
resistance!
Sergeants with them. Because of the block.
Attack!
They're doing pretty well. I'd have to... Yeah, you've already broken it, so I'd have to reposition it.
That's the thing though, is if you get them in a death trap like that, that's gonna do a good amount of damage. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win though.
Yeah, now that I repositioned with the brace, it's a little better. Oh my god, they're still beating it though. Jesus.
Yeah, they're dying a lot faster, but it's almost gonna be a trade. I think I'm gonna have so few left that, you know, it's not gonna be a super effective unit, but
Advance!
I'm still getting a couple hit markers.
no, you've done
Nope.
nothing. You've done nothing.
Yeah.
Units!
Wow. Okay. So as you can see, the Stalwarts are highly effective. They're very similar to the Spear Sergeants in their use case and how they're going to be played. The few things though that made them special is, as you could tell, in V formation they took very little damage. They're very slow, so if you have them go up against anything, say like a ranged unit, and someone can micro them, they're just going to be able to run away from you and you're never going to be able to actually take care of them. But if you go up against anything with a direct conflict, any other melee units, they take very little damage. Against cavalry, they're pretty decent. They're not quite as good because they do not have the brace stun that Spear Sergeants themselves have, but they still can hold up their own. A huge thing with cavalry though is if you get a charge from cavalry, you definitely want to be in brace formation, and the moment they go through your brace formation, hit V, so that way you get the block defense that you're going to have as they try to take out the cav, and those cav cannot hit that weak spot from behind. One of the things you have to keep an eye out for is that brace formation. If an enemy engages you, breaks a hole in your wall, I would recommend hitting V, getting them to turn, engage, and then hit the brace again. That way you kind of surround them and you get that reduction in damage taken, and you're allowed to take out that enemy unit without receiving as much damage back. Once you get enough of them killed down, you can then go ahead, hit V, and let them wipe them out with that added benefit of the block that they get in the attack at will command. So as far as the Stalwarts are concerned, I see them being heavily used in expeditions. They're probably going to be the go-to unit for expeditions because that really good block, and on top of that, they put out a really good amount of damage. I definitely expect to see them used in siege battles. Them and the new Men-at-Arms upgrade are both really effective tanky units that even put the spear guards on the back line because they are so good with that block system. Overall, I think it's a wonderful upgrade. I personally plan to upgrade my Spear Sergeants into Stalwarts. I do wish they had cover command. That is a huge benefit to Spear Sergeants, and one of the reasons some people may choose not to upgrade, because having that ability to walk in with cover command on is very effective. So I hope this video helped you out getting an idea about the Stalwarts from Season 5. If it did help you out, please subscribe to see the next one that comes out about the other units, and hit that like button. If you have any more questions or concerns or want to keep the discussion going, you can also comment below or in the Discord. You can also catch me in a Twitch stream at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope to see you all on the battlefield. Goodbye, everyone. I got God of War! Oh, this match is going so well. No.